Alright, we're going to be trying something a little bit different for Dark tonight. And we're going to be watching it here in my garage pool. Because why not? Quarantine, right? Anyway, watching Dark here. And our first match is Ricochet Chanel, who reminds me of Alicia Fox, and Diamante versus the, I guess, face team of Brandy Rhodes and Allie. And we're gonna see if they can get along, because that's been kind of the storyline going into this, is that they don't get along, I guess. And yes, Dustin, the natural, is on the side there. By the way, yes, that is an inflatable dragon behind me. Its name is Nessie. But something else is this contraption I made. Between my girlfriend and I, we had a projector, a set of speakers, a Chromecast, and a PS3 lying around. So I strapped all that stuff down with some zip ties and Velcro strips into the lid of a storage container. So you can just pop that on and take it wherever you want. And in this case, I took it to my garage. So I tried to see if he'd be able to see me on the camera if I turned out the lights, and the answer is no. No, not at all. By the way, that's a really old computer just hanging out in the background there. Diamante reminds me of a really, I don't know, bargain basement page. Oh, is Brandy gonna make the hot tag? No, probably not. Yeah. Hand was down. No tag. Here comes the tag. Alright. Brandy finally got the hot tag. You know, she really doesn't show off a lot of her wrestling abilities, even on Dark, so this is cool seeing her actually wrestle. Although, that wasn't much of a hot tag. So wait, Brandy's finisher is the spear? Everybody does the spear. But there you go, they win, and they kind of work together. Oh, I get it. Allie's mad because she didn't get the pinfall. But she reluctantly gave Brandy a hug, so I guess they're gonna work together. Alright, so for our next match, we got Robert Anthony. I don't know what to think about this guy. He comes out in this Power Ranger looking thing. He's generic, kind of tall guy, kind of muscular, but not really. And like, I don't know, they make him out to be decent, but they keep putting him against megastars who whoop his ass, like John Moxley. And here you go against, is this Ricky Starrs? Who I know they're gonna push because he's new, so we'll see what Robert Anthony, most generic name ever, does out here. By the way, Taz and Excalibur are a really underrated commentary team. Taz is just, he's such a cocky dick. he's the perfect heel announcer, and meanwhile Excalibur just like doesn't put up with his crap, and he just like calls him out on everything, and yet Taz always has some half-assed excuse. It's really great. Taz actually is similar to how Samoa Joe is in WWE, but so far, pretty even match. Robert Anthony is proving. Starks, of course, does the spear as well, but Taz is sitting there trying to justify it by calling it a tackle, I guess. Starks hit a big knee followed by a really cool finisher, and as predicted, he wins. So another loss for Robert Anthony. After the match, Starks goes over, he fist bumps Taz, and totally leaves Excalibur hanging. Pretty funny stuff. Alright, they're really building this story of uh, I always want to say Ty Dillinger, but it's Sean Spears here, and Tully Blanchard on Dark. He's got this lead weight in his fist, in the glove that Tully gave him. This is a classic Dark match. These guys that we never hear about. Sean Dean, Joe Alonzo, and Will Hobbs. And they're going to be taking on 3 masked members of Dark Order. So why not? So let's see which numbers come out. From what I'm to understand, Evil Uno is 1, Stu Grayson is 2. That tag team of guys I can never remember their names are 3 and 4. There's a guy named 5, a guy named 10, and I guess they're recruiting Colt Cabana and that one woman, maybe? So who's coming out today? 3, 4, 5, maybe? Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Although 3 and 4 are definitely portrayed as being essentially jobbers, they've definitely made a point to make 5 out to be decent. He was like a legitimate recruit because he's good. And I'm starting to like the idea of not Brody each time, but somebody from Dark Order or some group of Dark Order guys standing on the stage. So it looks like we got Uno, Stu Grayson, and 10 right now standing up there watching. I like that. Very menacing. Taz is giving Excalibur a hard time about how he should join Dark Order because he already has a mask. I love it. One guy from this jobber team I think might actually have a shot is Sean Dean. He's got his nickname, the Captain, and he moves and looks a lot like Cedric Alexander. I think if he plays his cards right, he could at the very least be a star on Dark. If not, kind of, to put it in WWE terms, move to the main roster of Dynamite. John Silver and Alex Reynolds are apparently 3 and 4. And they just won. So there you go. Dark Order wins again. Alright. I love the comedy stuff that AEW does, but this is gonna be ridiculous. Michael Nakazawa versus Marco Stunt. I love Marco, but I can't stand Michael Nakazawa and his Turkish oil wrestling. No, don't oil it up, Taz. Is Marco gonna have people accompany him to the ring? Mr. Fun Size. Love that nickname. But he's out here alone tonight, so let's see what he does against the oil-based attacks of Michael Nakazawa. Apparently, he's not going to use the oil tonight. We'll see. He changed his mind. There's the oil. And now he did a slipping senton with it. Nakazawa hung up Marco on the top rope and then slid him across, and of course that meant that Taz had to say it was a yam bag slide. By the way, this is the other thing I hate about Nakazawa, his stupid underwear that he puts on his hand and tries to do it like Mr. Sacco. Haha, it backfired and you lost, Nakazawa. Go, Marco, Mr. Funsize. So we got this Brady Pierce guy who honestly reminds me of Bobby Roode, with maybe a little Tyler Breeze. And he's got gold boots. And he's tagging with Pineapple Pete. I actually love Pineapple Pete. I love that he got over by wearing a shirt and having Chris Jericho make fun of him. And they're apparently taking on the really awkward team of Luther and Serpentico. We'll see. So Luther is from the Kingdom of Nye or something like that. I don't know, but he comes out, he poses with Serpentico, who has streamer launchers attached to his hand. And it looks like a New Japan Championship win. That's their entrance. Well, I guess this weird team of Serpentico and Luther turned out to be pretty good. Good tag work, and they won. Not much more you can say about them. Of course, what would Dark be without Peter Avalon, the librarian, and Brandon Cutler not getting along in a tag match? I really don't get Brandon Cutler's character. What, is he obsessed with D&D, I guess? Whatever. He's pretty good, though. And here we go. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Interesting, because of their connection to Brandon Cutler, the Young Bucks are actually in the audience for this one, so... It's interesting how Excalibur and other baby faces on the roster really play up the fact that they're buying into this concept that Luchasaurus is a real dinosaur. So you got Excalibur talking about the Paleozoic era was so long ago, and Luchasaurus is using his millennia or whatever of experience. It's really good. So Avalon, Leva Bates just did a Hurricane Rana on Jungle Boy. But Avalon and Cutler's whole thing is that I don't think they have a win as individuals or a team. And they haven't even beat Jobbers on Dark. And yet they're killing Jurassic Express There's a okay. He broke it up. Weird. I don't expect in a main event with big time guys like this for them to actually pick up their first win, but they're pulling out all the stops. I don't know. They got me convinced. Nope. Tag team maneuver by Jurassic Express. And I think Cutler took the pin there. No, Avalon. There you go. Avalon takes the pin. And then they pose like Shawn Michaels. So there's the end of that match. With Marco, by the way. Alright, apparently that wasn't the main event. The main event is Brian Cage versus Brian Pillman Jr. And it's for the FTW Championship. So, of course, Taz is going nuts on commentary. Interesting intro, lots of pyro for Brian Cage. I actually got to see Brian Pillman Jr. In an MLW show in the ECW Arena. There you go. Say it right. It's a title match.
And ladies and gentlemen, the current FTW champion, the Machine, Brian Cage. Well done, Justin Robinson.
And as would be predicted, since they talked about his championship that he's taking into Fyter Fest tomorrow night the entire time, Brian Cage wins. Holds up the belt, the F the World belt, and makes his way out. And I guess that's Dark. Oh no, he's gonna beat up Brian Pillman Jr. a little bit after the match with the whole series of power bombs. That is your Dark episode for the week. See you guys tomorrow for Fyter Fest, or not Fyter Fest, for Fight for the Fallen.